Hello and welcome to our tutorial for our new camper registration system. I'm going to show you how to use our dashboard or your dashboard today because there's a lot of helpful features that will help you to manage your camper's account, and so I'm going to run through these really quickly. First thing is, if this is your first time looking at the dashboard, it's really helpful to look at some notes that we have, and if you click this bar on any screen that you're on, it'll pull up notes that you can see. And so if you haven't been here before, I'd recommend just taking a look at this, because this might alleviate a lot of confusion for you before you even get started. This first section that you see here is just basic account information about the primary person on the account, whoever created the account. On the left side of the screen here, any campers that are in the system are shown right here. So right now I just have my demo camper, but anybody else that you put in the system, if you decide to add a camper later, or even if you add multiple campers right from the outset, they'll be here. And there's a ton of things you can do here from year to year if information changes or anything like that. Things like their grade will automatically update, but if you move, you can change the address or phone or email address associated with your camper's account, which is usually just going to be the same as yours for younger kids. But you can change any of that information. You can always remove a camper if you need to, and of course you can add a camper, and here's where you go to edit information. Then in the bottom corner here, we have contacts. So anybody you put in the system as a guardian or a parent or an emergency contact will go down here, and you can do the exact same thing as above, where you can edit information, add a new contact, remove somebody if you need to, and that's how you keep track of the people that are in the system. Up here in the corner, we have kind of an enrollment summary, so it'll show you what session of camp you are currently enrolled in. And right now I am enrolled in primary camp 1 session, but there's an important distinction that you need to know about, and that is that if it says enrolled, that means that you have gone through and you've filled out the information for camp, but you haven't actually paid yet, and so your spot is not being held yet. We're just waiting on payment. If you go through and pay, which I'll talk about in just a second, then this status will change to registered, which means that you then have a official spot in camp. If you're a scholarship parent, you can actually go through and fill out all the information for camp without paying. Fill out a scholarship application, which is down here as an optional form that you can actually fill out right online. And then if we decide to give you scholarship funding, then we can manually change your status to registered even if you don't pay your full deposit. This is your financial summary area, so this tells you your program, what your current balance is for this camper, and if you switch campers it will show you a different balance for a different camper. But if you click on view transactions, you can see any transactions for that camper for the sessions of camp they're registered for. So you can see here that I've bought some pictures and DVDs. There's the camp charge, and then if you register before our registration deadline in April, then it automatically will apply this account, or excuse me, this discount to your account, assuming that you pay your full balance by the early registration deadline. If you don't do that, then this will actually disappear after the deadline passes, but it will be there automatically until it has a good reason not to be. If you do want to make payment, if you want to pay your balance, remaining balance on a camper's account, or make payments towards your account, you can actually come in here and click make payment. And most screens that you see will bring up notes automatically, which are helpful to know for the first time through. So you can kind of know what your options are, but you can minimize that so it's not so much clutter on the page. And then you can come through here and look at details like your registration amount. Your balance is $208. You can choose what type of payment you'd like to make, whether it's a minimum payment, full payment, or some other amount lesser than the full payment. But you have to make at least a $50 minimum deposit to be officially registered for camp and hold your spot. The next tab that you can click on here is your camp store amount. So whatever you want to give your camper to spend at camp, you can put in here and pay for that. And you can even go in during a week of camp and see how much they have left and add more money if you want to. Then you come over here to payment options, and it'll show you your total balance. So whatever you need to pay on your registration, camp store, there is a screen where you can add a donation as you go through the process, so that will be there too if you decide to do that. It'll tell you the total amount you're going to be charged today, and then how you want to pay, whether it be by credit card or e-check, and you put in your information down here, and then proceed to the next screen, which I won't do right now, but that's where you finalize your payment and actually pay. If you get in here and you decide you want to get out, you just click previous a couple times and it'll take you back to your main dashboard here. The next area is notifications. So if there's any important things that you need to know regarding your account, like you're missing some forms or anything like that, then that will be in here. Next we come to the online forms section, and the way the system works is we have to create a primary account for your camper, which gives us basic information about where you live and the camper and birth date and all that. But there's some other forms that give us additional information about the camper, where they go to school, their church, their t-shirt size, things like that, that you, if you don't complete them the first time through registration, you can come in here anytime you want and complete these before camp starts. And once it's done, you'll get this green check mark, which means it's good to go. So I'll just open one just so you can quickly see it. A profile sheet, which just gives basic information about the camper. If a field is highlighted yellow, that means it's required, and so you can't proceed until you actually fill it out. But you can move through it, and once it's done, then it'll say required. So there's a number of forms that you do need to fill out, and some of these are very short. You just have to go in and sign your signature for the zipline waiver, for example. But one thing that's really important to note is that we decided to break out the immunizations form separate from the health history form, because we know a lot of parents don't have those dates right available to them, and sometimes it takes time to get that from your doctor. So we actually made this a required form, but not required before you register for camp. So you can actually go through, register, pay, secure your deposit, all those things, or excuse me, secure your place in camp, and then come back maybe a week or 2 weeks later, sometime before your child comes to camp, and fill out the immunizations. And it's just 2 lines. We need your DTaP dates and your tetanus booster. And it's really that simple. Once that's done, then this will change to a green check mark. And then the other thing to know here, I mentioned this earlier, is if you do want to fill out a scholarship application, you can click on this right here and it'll ask you a few questions. It's not required to fill out a registration, but it is an optional form that you can do. The other thing you can do here is click on download forms, and these are optional PDFs that you can download that kind of are supplemental information to camp, which are actually really important. So we definitely recommend that you download these and take a look at them. They're just information about your child's camp session and some things to know about how we do camp at Ghormley. So we definitely recommend taking a look at those. Last but not least, we have some additional items to your camper's account that you may want to deal with. And again, these are all things that you do normally during the initial registration process, but if you have to come back and finish it later or make changes, this is where you do it. This is your cabin mate request screen, so if your camper wants to request to be with a friend, they can do that here. Just enter the first and last name. And then a cool feature with our new system is that if you have a friend that you want to go to camp with your child, you can enter the parent email here for that camper or potential camper, and our system will automatically send them an email notifying them that you are going to camp and that you have requested to be in their cabin, which is a pretty cool deal. You can request up to 2 roommates or cabin mates, and per our policies, we will guarantee the first and do everything we can to get you the second one. The other thing here is you can add additional charges to your account. So if you want to add a picture or a DVD to your account, you can click Manage Additional Charges here and then bring up this window, and you can add 2 things here. You can add a DVD or a picture. So if you would like to do that, you can add them here. So you can just click, like if you wanted to do both, you can click Add right here. It'll apply your charges to your account, and then if you decide you want to remove them, like you added too many or you don't want that anymore, you can always remove it from your account as well by doing that. That's pretty much it. If you have any other questions or feedback on our new system, please let us know, but we hope this will make your experience of getting your child registered for camp much easier, and it's great because you can do pretty much anything on your account except for cancel your account, your camp. That's one thing to note. Once you are fully registered for camp, if you do want to cancel your camp session, you do need to actually call us. You can't just go in here and remove your camp session once you're fully registered. So we hope you enjoy it, and that is pretty much it for this video.